For this video, I'm going to focus on articulation, the basics of how we shape notes. This is a Killian O'Brien whistle. It is an instrument that doesn't take a lot of air, and you pay for it if you make mistakes. So I'm going to give an example first of playing with, I hope, no articulation at all. That is, I'm just going to blow, and I'm going to play a little bit of a jig, and I'm going to try not to put any emphasis in any of the notes anywhere. And I put one tongue in there at the end, but you get the idea that the notes run together and don't have a lot of color to them. So when we start a note, we can start it simply by blowing, or we can save up some of the air and then make it come out more explosively, and there are two ways to do that. One way is to tongue. So if we're going to tongue, as many players do, as I do, we have to be careful with how we tongue. This is not like a clarinet where you tongue by placing your the tip of your tongue right at the entrance of the beak here. The easiest way to do it is a D sort of a sound. So the D, placing the tongue at the base of the teeth at the top of the jaw, like this. That gives you a stronger air column right at the start, and gives the tune more color. Then adjusting the airflow so that you can maintain the note after the tongue. We're looking for a steady tone here, not too much vibrato, not too much tremolo, other than what I have just because I'm getting older. But then how do we stop a note? If I start and stop the note with the tongue, I get staccato, and it sounds like this. Which is not very melodic either. So the compromise is to give the accented notes tonguing with the D sound and some slurs between them, but then try not to cut the notes off. Let them die naturally. So instead of it's a legato kind of an approach. If you put all that together with this tune and you accent just the rhythm notes, that is the notes that are on the beat, you get which gives more rhythm to it. And there's a lot of other things we could do, but I'll talk about that in other videos. Now, what's another way to stop the air? You can use a stop farther down at the glottis. So the same way that we interrupt speech, you can close the throat and shape the notes a little bit. This is very hard to do with a whistle, especially a whistle like this that doesn't tolerate too much variation in the pressure of the airstream, but I'll try to do it anyway. So more of that glottal stopping. Willie Clancy was very good at this, and actually when he would narrow his airstream, you could hear him buzzing on the old recordings. I always thought that was amazing. I didn't know what he was doing until I started doing it recently. Perhaps it's also a feature of getting older. So those are the components of the note: the start, the maintenance of the note itself, and then how you end it. Now sometimes on a slower tune, perhaps you want to let the note die off, like on an air. So if you let the air pressure drop a little bit, the note will get a little bit flatter. So that's sometimes done. I don't do that quite as much as some players do. You can also shade the note as it ends, just to bring it down with the finger below. But you can play with that. But think about the beginning of the note, the center of it, the duration of it, and then the end of it. Thinking about that also helps to give the notes their full value in the tune, because now you're thinking about what each note needs in order to occupy the space that belongs to it in the tune. Hope that helps.